This call is being recorded. If you do not wish to be recorded, please disconnect at this time.
Good day. I am the voice of We Provoke Thought. We Provoke Thought is an organization and show that is the platform for those who have an opinion, idea, or educated information to share to the world. An outlet to voice your feelings and facts. Now, today, listeners, we have a wonderful woman on the line, and today's topic is Women Speak Up, Men Speak Out. And the reason why we're talking about this today is because it's easy for us to talk about the problems that we see in one another. It's easy to find fault in those that we are living with. It's easy to find fault in those that we deal with throughout the day. But how easy is it for us to reflect those issues, those shortcomings on ourselves? And that's where we're at today. Today is Women Speak Up, Men Speak Out. And we're going to be talking about those issues that plague men and women today in today's society, community, and homes. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a young lady on the line. And as always, we like to keep this anonymous but uncensored. But I'd like to also give the listeners an idea of the demographics in which we reach. So I would like to ask you, ma'am, what city and state are you in?
Annapolis, Maryland.
Annapolis, Maryland. Wonderful, wonderful. And today's topic, again, is Women Speak Up, Men Speak Out. Now, once we begin, we'll be continuing with you having full knowledge that the call is being recorded and that you agreed to continue with the recorded call, and that you also agree that for We Provoke Thought to publish this call without releasing your name, identity, phone number, or any information leading to you on We Provoke Thought's YouTube channel and Facebook fan page. Now, I would like to pose first the statement or the question to you. With women speaking up, men speaking out, now you do understand that this is about the problems that are plaguing women, not men. So we can talk all day long about how men are dogs and, how they just ain't right. But at the end of the day, I want to find out from a woman what are the issues that women deal with throughout the day. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do. And I would say it's trust issues to me could be from a past relationship that you are bringing your baggage into this relationship, thinking that the person that you're with now is going to treat you like the other person has treated you, or because you have accepted to be being treated a certain way that, you still are dwelling on the past and, have not forgiven yourself or let a lot of things go when coming into a relationship. So trust issue to me is I would say is a big deal.
All right, and I would like to put that. I would like to put that at the top of the list for everyone. So trust. So when talking about some of the issues that are plaguing women today, you say trust will be one of the key factors in that. Is that correct?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on men and their role or position in today's society?
I feel as though, not all men, but I feel as though some men need to really, step up to the plate. I think it's a saying, I forgot how it goes, any man can be a father or something like it, but it takes a real man to raise their child. And, it's just sad that, you lay down with this person and they get pregnant and, you want to step out on your children. And especially to have sons, us as mothers, we can't teach them how to be a man.
By both parents, there's things that you have to learn from your father and there's things that you have to learn from your mother in order to go through society and not cause a wreck.
But, we can do the best that we can do to raise them to be the best men that they can be, but we can't teach them, how to be a man.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that in today's society, and we can narrow it down to communities and in some cases folks' homes, you find that, or you feel as though that men aren't being the leaders that they should be. They're not the head anymore. Is that correct?
Not at all.
It's the Cradle of Life. It's the center of civilization. Over the ages, and throughout the world. Men have fought for it, battled for it, even died for it.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right, and that's a shame because men coming up in this world, men were the hunters and gatherers, the protectors, the providers, and the women were the nurturers, the educators, and I believe that just listening to what you're saying, you feel as though that women are taking on both responsibilities, both of the men and their current role as the woman or the mother. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, so as a woman, how satisfied are you with the societal state of women? Meaning how? Basically how?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go.
I would say about 75%. You have some women out here, and especially with myself, that's very independent, gonna hustle and do whatever she has to do to take care of her children, her home. But then
right.
you have some women out here that still wants to be in a system at the age of 40 and 50 years old, not wanting to work and, different things like that. So, I would say about 75%.
In 1964, government came in and they pulled black women to the side and they started to classify black women and women in general as minorities. In 1964, that's the first time they classified women as minorities. So they started to give them set-asides and benefits, and then they created the Feminist Movement, and a lot of sisters branched off into that, and that kind of created a rift because a lot of sisters stopped fighting for civil rights and they started to fight for women's rights, but women's rights weren't being jeopardized in the black community. Our first priority was racism, and we should have dealt with that first.
We wanted to be free. We didn't need any boundaries, need no man to tell us what to do. Well, we hadn't had no man to tell us what to do anyway. You couldn't tell us what to do in slavery, so we didn't really have no fight with you about that. That was the white woman's fight with her man, but we took it on. I want to be free. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. And then women started having babies, what they call out of wedlock, and then that got to be okay too. Oh, it's all right. Once it got accepted by society, all of the rest of the people, then it was okay then to just have a baby. In fact, I don't even want him for nothing but to just have a baby. And then we started saying, I'm gonna be the mother and the father. All kind of nonsense. And so what happened was that movement, and there never was a sisterhood.
Okay, so that's still strong, though. That's still strong because, again, we're going back to the role or the position of men in today's society because men are slacking, in your opinion, in their role as a leader and as a protector and provider. The women have to take up that slack. So that's a strong position for women. 75%. I mean, you can't get better odds than that in Vegas with that. So. So now, are you as a woman, are you confident, or have women lost their confidence in men?
I can't speak for all women. I'm confident in my relationship. Been there through a lot, but at the same time, when I look at the man that I have now, I know that he's not like any of these other men that I have been in past relationships with, and I don't compare him to that. I went into this relationship with openness to try to learn to trust and try to learn to love again. And he has showed me a whole, different side of you can trust, you can love again, and not, living on your past experience and everything. So, I'm very comfortable in mine. I can't speak for everybody else.
Well, I commend that gentleman that you're with then. Now, with that, would you, as a woman, would you be accepting if men were to be more assertive and aggressive in their with their role as a protector, a provider, teacher, listening, working, and creating? Would you be accepting to that if men would just basically try to regain or reclaim their position and role?
100% absolutely.
So how long have you been married?
23 years.
Wow. And how do you do that?
Secret to a happy marriage, my man? Control your woman. See these pants? You the one that's supposed to be wearing them. When you talk, she listens. It's like that old E.F. Hutton commercial. When you talk, she turn and listen. That's all you got to know.
There talking all
Control your
Alex,
woman.
bring me some food.
You want a hot dog or a hamburger, baby?
I want a hot dog.
Okay. You want some mustard?
Everything
They got some good
on
relish.
it. Everything.
Okay, baby. I'll get you one right away. Control your woman.
I see.
Don't let her control you.
Bring me something too. Where your man is? He ain't here, so I'm using yours.
And I feel as though, you know, a lot of men need to step up to the plate and, I mean, be the leaders and the head of their homes. You know, sometimes you find some men, because their wives or their other, you know, significance is making more money than them.
Right.
They get too comfortable, and some of the women sit back and wind up taking care of them while they sitting back. You know, I don't have no problem with if you want to be a stay-at-home dad or something like that, but at the same time, I'm just old-fashioned. I just believe in the men should be, you know, the head of household, take care of everything, you know. And
no, that's not old-fashioned.
A lot of people think it's supposed to be 50-50, but I believe when you're together, it's one. You're one. It's not 50-50. You're together. It's one.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And that's good, because the reason why I asked that, because of the fact that, like you just mentioned, there are women that are who are outperforming in the salary base. They're making more money than their significant other. There are much more women finding themselves in higher positions, promoted positions above their men counterparts, and you know, there are some women that will say, I'm not giving up this position. I worked hard to be here, and, you know, I had to struggle and go through a lot. Men gave up their position. They slacked. They fell in whatever way, shape, or form. And this is why I think it's important to open up the dialogue about men speaking out and women speaking up about these things, so that, see, as I mentioned earlier, it's important, and it's also easy for us to, you know, again, point out the faults that we find in someone else. But when we reflect that onto ourselves, it's, you know, we see that ugly picture. We see that ugly nature. And a lot of times we do not hold ourselves accountable. We do not find responsibility within that. And I believe that when I am able to tell you, you know what my problem is, I cannot be trusted in certain areas. I'm not one who can be relied on. I fall short in this. Then you can thank that person, because now you know what you're dealing with, and you know how to deal with that person or not to deal with that person.
It's a communication level that you have to, you know, to establish.
Exactly. All right. So tightening this up. Are you able or prepared to be passive or submit? And I know I might get some flack for this, but are you able to be passive or submissive to a society of men that would aggressively and cooperatively recreate a society or community of men who lead by providing, protecting, working, listening, proactively responding, and creating a utopia? Basically, are you... Go ahead.
It depends on which way these men are want to take, you know, back in charge, not, you know, being or making it seem like it's a control thing. That because I'm the man that I need to this, and you need to submit to me and all this. I'm not gonna look at it in that sense, but you know, I just think that, you know, the generation now, especially for our young, you know, African American men, you know, I think a lot of them will be so much better off having that great mentor, that man in their lives. You know, there's a lot. I believe a lot of things will stop. The generation nowadays is just so disrespectful, you know, and a lot of it, I'm sorry, you know, falls because they don't have that male role model in that home, you know, and they just, you know, as the kids get older, they're more wiser, and, you know, they see things. At the same time, I look at it that they're hurting, and the first thing society want to do is throw these young men in jail, you know, and I feel as though if our young black men can step up, you know, take on a role as, you know, being a role model, a mentor, a father figure to, you know, somebody. I mean, you know, that's something totally different, but not being so controlling about the situation.
And believe me, I can tell you, I hear that word a lot, and no woman or man wants to be controlled for that matter. But again, if the men were properly putting themselves in the proper positions to be at the head,
I think that'd be wonderful.
All right, all right. So then you kind of answered my last question. Then, are you willing and are you able, or not able? Are you willing to fight and support this man? That. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you allowing us to be the platform for you to express yourself on that. I believe that this, again, is a real strong and important dialogue for us all to have, both men and women. Regardless of race, the fight is still the same. The struggle is still the same. Our communities are falling because men are falling, and we need stronger men, and we need strong women, and we need stronger men and women to work as a unit. As you mentioned, it's not 50-50, it's one, and that's where we need to see things as one. We all fighting for the same cause. We all are looking for the same success within our families and our community. So I'm going to leave you with this, a statement. If I had the power, and basically, you just tell me, if you had the power, what would you do with it? And so you say, if I had the power.
If I had the power, I would just want everybody to be happy.
Okay. It doesn't have to be profound. It could be just as simple as that. That's fine. Well, I appreciate it, and as always, I'd like to thank my listeners for listening, because you are on We Provoke Thought, and for that, we do not apologize. I'm going to say goodbye to you on the other end.
Okay, you have a good day. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
This call has been recorded.